Welcome back to another episode of Be at the Buzzer. I'm your host, Brian Briggs. And again, let's get the preliminaries out the way. If you're coming to us on Facebook, let's get the thumbs up, like our channel. If you're coming to us on YouTube, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. It is very much appreciated. We love bringing you the content. And with that being said, we're going to get started. So today, my topic is going to be the college football playoffs and what we are getting for our money. So it looks as if we get to have another year of Clemson versus Alabama. But I'd like to say a few things about the college football playoffs. Number one, I would say, can we get some different teams? Can we allow the other teams? You know, it really seems unfair to me. This college football playoff is like the BCS. You know, it's top heavy. That's why you have Clemson and Alabama as the two dominant teams. Not that they're not. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that if you put any of these other teams up, are you going to get a different result in the end than Clemson and Alabama? But anybody can be beat on any given day or night. So, you know, I just think that America wants to see something different. And when I say something different, I think that, you know, I'm a believer that in the playoff system, if a team is rated within the top 25 and they go undefeated, they should be invited to the playoff versus a 1 or a 2-loss team. You know, just like this year. So we got Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and Notre Dame, right? So Ohio State and Notre Dame, they've been to the tournament before, or to the playoffs before. And other than the first year when Ohio State won it in 2014, they haven't fared well in the CFP. And all I'm saying is, let me see somebody different. You know, you make a judgment for us to say Cincinnati, or in this case this year, Coastal Carolina, because they're the two undefeated teams. They're not worthy enough, or they're not good enough to play with Alabama and Clemson. But who's to say that? How do we know unless they play the game on the field? And I'm an advocate of, you know, at least this year, they could have expanded it by 2 or 3 teams or 4 teams. And, you know, because all your bowls are going to be played either in Arizona or out west, because the rest of the country, maybe Texas, the rest of the country is kind of shut down because of COVID. So you're only going to have these playoff games or bowl games in certain areas of the country. With that being said, we probably could have added, instead of championship week, because the conferences kind of manipulated who was going to be in the championship week and when it was going to be played. You could have cut that out and just handed the championship to whoever you wanted to have the championship, because that's what they were doing anyway. And then at that point, they could add an extra week, and then you could have a couple more teams in, and then you could play for this playoff format to crown a champion. But I think that what you'll see at the end of this will be Clemson versus Alabama, the sequel, number 35, or whatever number is, 3, 5, whatever. But, you know, I looked at, I don't think Ohio State should be in, because they only had 6 wins. And the reason I say that is not because of the number of wins, but you think about the teams that have played 10 to 11 games, they're 20 weeks in. They've been practicing, you know, they're 20 weeks in. Ohio State has played 6 games. They may be 10 or 12 weeks in. You know, so the conditioning factor, the health factor, there could be advantage to Ohio State because they played less games. The other thing is I don't want to see Ohio State in it because every time Ohio State is in it, they lose. So give me somebody else. I'd rather see at least Cincinnati. It would be intriguing that they're undefeated and they're going in and playing somebody Notre. And I don't even want Notre Dame. I was going to say Notre Dame. I don't even want Notre Dame in it because the eye test against Clemson, they just stunk up the joint. Why do I need them? Why do I want to see that crap again? Give me Coastal Carolina. I've watched them. They play with pizzazz and enthusiasm. I'd rather see them playing against Alabama than Notre Dame because Alabama just going to swash them. At least if we had Cincinnati and Coastal, the intrigue, we wouldn't know what's going to happen. But the pundits or the committee or whoever's in charge tells us that Notre Dame and Ohio State are better than any of these other teams out there, and it just doesn't make sense. I mean, if you're if you're in the top 25 throughout the year and you remain undefeated, when the playoff comes, you should have an opportunity to play in the playoff. And the reason I say it, look at this. I did some research on Ohio State. So they played number 18 Penn State at the time. They played number 9 Indiana, who I think we all agree was a decent team, Indiana. And then they played number 14 Northwestern in the Big Ten championship game. Okay, so Indiana, Northwestern, newly, those aren't any, Penn State at the time, but we see Penn State. So Ohio's schedule is not that impressive to me. And if they looked impressive, they should have against a team like that. Then you got Coastal Carolina. They beat number 21 Louisiana. They beat the App State team that's usually ranked in the top 25. They beat number 8 BYU on a short schedule. And they got number 23 Liberty in the, the FBC Mortgage Core Bowl, whatever that is. But, then you got Cincinnati. They beat number 22 Army, number 16 SMU, and a good UCF team in number 23 Tulsa. Actually, they have just as many wins over, mid-level teams or mid-ranked teams as Ohio State does. So, everybody thinks they have a chance to be in the playoff. All I'm saying is, give us something new sometime. This has been Be at the Buzzer. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.